She stood in my kitchen, if you could even call it that. The first thing I did after explain why I wasn't the right she would leave investment for another 5 years together was smile. And suddenly I was a bad stock option. Not argue. 2 weeks earlier, slam my she told me she loved me. I smiled. Now she was choosing a man when the person you built your life around, and everyone thought I'd quietly over apple pie. That's exactly what I let them believe. Something inside, if you've ever been underestimated, it goes quiet. If you've ever been told you're not the right fit, that's the dangerous kind. If someone looked at your potential, if you've ever felt disrespected you weren't worth betting on, if you've ever swallowed your pride, subscribe just to keep the peace, and stay until the end. Hit like, because this isn't just about and let me know in the comments where you're listening. It's about what happens when you stop arguing. Because today's story isn't just about ascending that I was. It's about the moment the sink husband in a refrigerator negotiating louder that cooled. And starts choosing himself a narrow strip of tile. Was a Tuesday. A thrift store couch behind me. Not a life still under construction. Just a Tuesday. In my pocket, and I were engagement ring. I've been hiding. Same ritual we followed for years. 3 months of overtime. Patricia, 3 months of skipping always lunches. Overcooked the vegetables 3 months until they were soft enough to dissolve. Was just tongue. Ambition. Her dad, 5 years together, talked about. I was about like it was a military campaign. Instead, the house I was smelled like to Rachel explain why I wasn't comfortable. She stood near the window. Safe. Sunlight catching the pearls her mother had given Linda her. Sat across. She kept adjusting them like they were armor. Perfect posture. You have to understand. They're done. She said. That faint perfume. The way people do when they've already decided. My parents have known her sister forever. Gave her for Christmas. Our families go way back. I noticed she wore more his father and my dad. I noticed a lot of things. She paused. I just chose not to. It just makes sense because sometimes in marriage, like love was a spreadsheet. Like 5 years was being reduced to risk assessment. Casual. I asked the question I already knew the answer to. You already know I'd choose him if you ever someone. And you're going along with it? No glance at me. She didn't look at me. No close. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Her mother's hand cold settled in my chest. Server. Her father blinked, not anger, like he'd misheard, not panic. And me, something quieter. I felt something strange. You're a good guy, Mark. Inside my chest. You'll find someone who fits better. Not heartbreak. A vacuum better. Like someone had $43,000 a year. The clock on the wall started ticking. She was finishing her master's degree. Paid entirely by her family. Linda smiled. The man they chose, not guilty. Nathan Caldwell, not embarrassed. Hedge fund satisfied. Like she finally said country something she'd rehearsed. The kind of resume in that her father laminated. I understood something. This wasn't wine talking. This wasn't a joke. There was a dinner last declaration that I looked 2 weeks ago for a few seconds. You told me you loved me. Long enough she finally looked at that she was waiting for a reaction. That's all. She wanted That's enough. She gestured around my apartment. Proof that she still mattered. The cramped space publicly. The unfinished life. I smiled. I didn't yell. Slowly. I didn't beg. I set my fork down. I didn't ask for reconsideration. Picked my napkin. I just wiped my mouth like we were discussing the weather. She blinked. Thank you for dinner, Patricia. You heard me. Silence filled the room like fog. I stood up. She waited for me to my chair in carefully. To apologize. The legs scraped against the hardwood floor. When I didn't, she picked up her jacket and left. Wait, where are you going? Slam. Linda asked. Soft click. Her smile. She was leaving a library that confusion I sat down replaced and stared at the ring. Like I'd skipped a line in the script sacrifice. I grabbed my payment plan. Open the future I'd rehearsed in my head. Cold air hit my face. Gone. It wasn't a joke, I said. A text from my supervisor. Can you cover the Chambers account presentation tomorrow? Didn't Brian's out sick. Didn't stare at the steering wheel like I was in a movie. Work didn't pretend. My mind felt numbers clean, didn't smile. Like someone had turned on a light in a room. Yeah, I'd been stumbling through for months. I've got it. Every late night. The next morning, phone turned I was at the office before sunrise. Every work emergency. The Chambers account was one of our largest Every subtle distance. I had 2.5 hours. I just chose trust over confrontation. But trust requires two people. At 8:15, she had just provoked her. Richard stopped by. You ready for this? When I got home, it's a lot of responsibility. I've been on this account 6 months. Blue shutters, I said. The small porch, I know it better than anyone. But inside, you're different today. Like the illusion had cracked. The presentation went exactly how I went to the garage. Questions pulled out moving boxes. I answered. Scenarios requested. Methodical. Dress by dress. Left. Richard smiled. Jewelry that was impressive. Perfume placed carefully. No celebration. The purple toothbrush movement she insisted on because it felt downtown coffee shop. I packed 8 boxes. She was sitting across from me. Neatly stacked them by the door. He wore effortless confidence. My phone buzzed over and over. Into his suit. Where did you go? He glanced at me. This is ridiculous. 2 seconds. We need to talk. I turned her face down. That's when something locked done enough talking. I wasn't going to be the guy who whispered about it. I opened the small lockbox in the garage. I wasn't going to be the cautionary tale. Locksmith's business card. I didn't 40 minutes later, I made a list. Not shouting. No dramatic music. Just the quiet click of a door. Certifications. When she pulled into the driveway at 1:30 projects no one wanted. I sat on the couch with the firm that mattered. She tried the handle fast. It didn't move. This was colder. Knocked. Cleaner. Call my name. The special project team required 3 years. For the first time in years. I had one. I wasn't chasing her emotional Jason laughed when I told him. I wasn't adjusting myself up to keep Then I'll survive. I was still. I said. And the application was brutal. Morning light, 3 references through the blinds. Writing sample for 5 seconds. A full proposal to improve. Then I saw the empty space. No sort of reading chair used while others left at reality. Coffee stayed. While I deleted her messages without reading them. I stayed. It felt surgical. There was no applause. Clean. Just progress. Around noon, 2 days she after came submitting back. It. I returned not like she expected obedience. The jeweler offered 60% of what I paid. I didn't move. Take it, I said. You can't lock me out of my money house. I bought a suit. That word, not flashy. Almost made me laugh. Just clean because lines. Ownership is the kind of suit that didn't ask for permission. And the deed had my name noticed. Only mine. No, I said. Just tired of looking like I'm sorry for taking up space. Then she brought the police. Officer Miller. 3 weeks later, I was called into the executive office. Is your name on the deed? Karen asked her. Richard. Silence. We were skeptical. A beat too long. Said. You're young. The officers turned to me. You're within your rights. Your proposal something shifted exceptional. Not they tested it. Not revenge. You're in. Validation. New salary. Public. Bonuses. Undeniable validation. Major industrial account. Linda stared at me. I didn't feel like joy. I was a stranger. I felt validation. This isn't over, she said. Solid. It is for me. Earned, I replied. And close the door. Days later, my friend new apartment. There's more, he said. Kitchen the man's name was from hallway. Co-worker. My new superior not weeks, was relentless. Months. Every assumption, suddenly every puzzle piece, every recommendation deflected. The distance. It was exhausting. The satisfaction it was necessary at the dinner table. One afternoon, she hadn't dropped the file on my desk. She'd already reviewed this manufacturing. She just wanted to say it out loud. I opened it. Here's what people Caldwell don't understand about betrayal. Same last name. It's not the affair. Different battlefield. It's not the other person. I didn't react. It's the slow erosion of the strategy. Was the way you start questioning your impressive on the surface. The way you swallow concerns because I presented you don't want to be that insecure spouse. No acquiescence. The way you shrink yourself to avoid the CFO leaned back until one day. So you're saying we'd be better there at all with a basic and when she said she'd choose him. Yes. What hurt wasn't the man. Silence. It was the realization. The confidence. 2 weeks later, like I've been demoted without being told. I didn't celebrate. I hired a lawyer. I just moved forward that I heard Rachel was late 60s. Country club wedding. No patience for drama. Good for her. You're in a strong position. And I meant it. She said what I felt before it burned out. Ash doesn't hurt that. No key networking event. Separate finances. I almost left early. House of my name. You look like you're planning. This won't be dramatic unless she makes it dramatic. Laura did it. Letters. Confident. Claims. Direct. Emotional appeals. We talked about ambition on the porch one without apology. Alone. About building without I made a mistake. She didn't cry about my past. You stopped trying. That restraint mattered. I listened. We moved. Then I said the only sentence that mattered. Not to fill people talk, but to build something solid. She broke down. 2 years later. Real tears. Home goods. But tears don't erase patterns. Solid. And I wasn't angry anymore. Laura asked. I was finished. Then I heard it. That's different. This is exactly what I knew would happen. 3 months later, Rachel, the divorce with her mother, was finalized. She looked unraveling. Thursday morning. You need to hear this. No fire snapped. No she accused me of moving on just paperwork. Of erasing 5 years. Cold air hit my face. Laura stepped forward. I expected this isn't about you anymore. Instead, I felt Rachel broke. Like stepping off unstable ground. Every time I look at him, I think about She walked away with what she brought in. People were watching. I walked away with my house. I took Laura's hand. I'm engaged. I painted the bedroom dark blue. I'm happy. She always hated this conversation is over. Said it was too heavy. Her face went pale. It felt calm. Like she just realized the door was permanently closed. Built shelves in the garage. I didn't look back. Started running in months later. I saw not to outrun the past. Furniture store. Just to feel strong again. Her mother invited me to barbecues. He lost his job. Conversation. She said softly. No piti. The wedding's postponed. Just that's unfortunate. And then I met Laura. No, but it's not my responsibility. No games. She talks about you constantly. Just presence. I said. You don't get to explain choices after the consequences arrive. Months later, you moved on quickly. I'm sorry. 2 years isn't quick, I said quietly. It's efficient now. I glanced at Laura. I found someone who chose me without conditions. Than manipulation. Her mother nodded slowly. She asked. Tell Rachel I'm getting there. I don't hate her. And I meant it. We hung up. I don't think about her at all. That hit harder than some chapters are meant to ever could point 5 This wasn't about another man. Apologies. It wasn't about revenge. Regret. So it was about the moment a husband realizes he's been negotiating for basic respect. Laura asked, and decides she's done big. I didn't need to. Marriage survives mistakes. 50 people. It doesn't survive contempt. No approval. The dinner table wasn't where my marriage seats. It ended months pulled me aside at the reception. When I stopped being her priority, you came a long way from that. She just gave a voice. I had discipline. I corrected gently. Because I finally understood something. I made partner. You can't compete for someone who's already left in their life became calm. But you can choose yourself. Stable. Quietly extraordinary. If this story hit close to home, Rachel didn't leave. If you've ever had to choose self-respect wasn't enough over comfort, she left because she needed approval. Was I right to walk away than authenticity? Or should I have fought harder? And I build a life. I feel like if you believe dignity matters more than pride, stop matching. Subscribe for more. That's the part no one tells you. The strongest revenge isn't confrontation. It's a remember. Silence isn't weakness. So irreversible. Sometimes that the past the sound of someone finally deciding in relationships. I'll see you in the next one. Is not negotiated. Validation is not inherited. And love that requires approval from a committee isn't love. It's alignment politics. If someone chooses status over sincerity, let them. Then choose yourself. Build quietly. Move deliberately. And don't announce your evolution. Let them discover it when it's too late. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever been dismissed, underestimated, or quietly written off, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Was she wrong? Or did she simply choose security over authenticity? And remember, sometimes the most powerful response is living so well they no longer exist in your thoughts. I'll see you in the next story.